Today I want to be talking about the diagonal stretch with our friend Matt here at our studio, SharedSpace in Hong Kong, Causeway Bay. Drop by if you live nearby. Anyhow, the diagonal stretch is a really good stretch. Matt has experienced it before a couple of times, I think. The reason why I think it's an insanely good stretch is because, can you show me real quick what the posture is that most people spend most of their days in? All right, and can you transfer that same thing to sitting? Thank you very much, Matt. Exactly, that's it. Because we spend so much time in this range, usually we keep some of that anterior pelvic tilt when we stand. So a lot of people don't stand up really upright or have a slight tilt or a slight flexion in the hip. That is why the diagonal stretch is brilliant. Other than that, the diagonal stretch, mainly popularized by Ido Portal, if you know it through him, I know the diagonal stretch through him. I actually had to experiment a lot with the diagonal stretch, how to do it properly so that I would get the benefit that I'm looking at. Because Ido crowned it the queen of the stretches, then I'm like, man, if this is such a good stretch, why is it such a good stretch? So the conclusions that I came to is, for one, the diagonal stretch is stretching in the right angle of the hip flexor, the psoas, one of the deep hip flexors. So that one attaches right on the front of the femur to the lumbar spine, all the lumbar spinal vertebra processes. So it goes across like this. If I now do a lunge stretch, I of course still stretch my hip flexor, but it's not the right angle because the stretch mainly works in this direction now. So with a diagonal stretch leaning over, it actually stretches the right angle. Plus, doing it with the right cues, there's an immediate effect that Matt is going to feel in a second. Other than that, loaded progressive stretching is something you can look more into. Emmet Louis is someone that I really appreciate for sharing so many good resources online. So check out his YouTube channel. Matt, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to cue Matt into the diagonal stretch. Here you'll find how important it is to do the right cues. Because if I don't give him the right cues, the diagonal stretch may turn out into a hard lunge, but it's more quad heavy. We're not really getting the main things out of it. So let's do this. Quick diagonal stretch update. If you lose balance, just hold on to a wall or a person or something. That being said, it's actually quite good to start balancing as well. So it gets even harder. Peace. You start with both feet close together, and then you turn your right foot out 45 degrees. That's right. And you step your left foot back at a comfortable lunge distance. That's right. I would now say do it a bit wider just because I know a right distance. Here, roll the heel off the floor so that your heel is right above the balls of your feet. There you go. Now straighten the back leg. This one is really important. As you straighten the back leg, also make sure that you flex your glutes, flex your butt muscles. This pushes everything to the front. Good. Now use your left hand and hold your right shoulder. Lean slightly to the right so that your arm starts getting closer to the back of your thigh. Now already before we even started the stretch, ideally we want to feel intensity level of the hip flexor about 2 to 3. So you already want to feel the hip here. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Very good. If you don't feel it here yet, you can flex your glutes more, straighten the back leg even more, then I guarantee you'll feel it. The next cue we want to do is lean slightly back with your shoulder. Now the stretch already starts. Here, as you lean back with the shoulder, what you want to do is, well, bring the belly in. So lean back and bring the belly in. Yeah, that looks good. From leaning back, bring belly in. Now you're going to start doing your 8 reps in total. I know this is really hard. Stick with me. Actually, come out for a second. It is really intense stretch. Shake the knees out a bit. Shake everything out. So this time when you step into the lunge, try to keep the back leg as straight as possible throughout the whole process, even if you can't reach as far. So like for myself, I would start somewhere here and then start slowly reaching. The moment you break this line, chances are that the hip flexor is working a lot less. So try to keep that back leg really active. Again, left side, right foot turns out 45 degrees. Left foot steps back. Straight back leg, flex the glutes. Very good. Left hand touches right shoulder. Now start twisting slightly to the right. Lean back and bring the belly in. So bring it in. Very nice. And now lean back and reach down. And come slowly back up. Very nice. And reach down again. As you come back up, you want to feel like you're pulling from the hip flexor. Come back up. Very good. So it's not an ab crunching. Very nice. Do one more. And back up. We're going to pretend this is Matt's 8th rep. Lean back all the way down. And now stay the lowest that you can be, still keeping the whole engagement. Intensity level 7 or 8, so this should be really tough. And you want to stay there for 8 seconds. You're 5 seconds in or so, so 3, 2, 1. Slowly come up, and now take a walk. That's what my left leg is flying. Did you hear that? When I do this, for me, it literally feels like the leg that I stretch walks by itself. It's a very weird, interesting phenomenon. But then I feel when I do it on one side, like I want to have walking always feel like this. So that's when I would do the next side. You don't have to do the other side for now. I would do at least 3 sets, so each side 3 times, 8 reps, and the last rep an 8-second isometric hold. Usually I'd recommend doing it 2 or 3 times a week. That's roughly an average that people in the field recommend, but with these measurements, Emmet Louis and Kit Lachlan are really good resources to go to. Yeah, that was the diagonal stretch. I hope it was helpful, and peace out.